Hi all, welcome to my Winter Want to Watch predictions video. This could be, individual cards could be quite appealing, but generally the most of the cards might not be, which sums up Wants to Watch sadly at times, but it is what it is. Well, you can smash the links below, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, G is a legend, all the links are down below, follow us on the channel and social media links as always, and hit that notification bell so you know when uploads are up on the channel, would be much appreciated. And also let me know who you think will get a Winter Want to Watch. We might have a squad of say 23 SBCs and maybe like player picks and an objective. So for my 23 I'm going Perrin, Juventus to Genoa. Not necessarily a given, but I think goalkeeping wise you might feel rating wise he might be the most likely, but we'll see how it plays out. Odriozola to Bayern Munich, interesting transfer. All he needs is really one upgrade and suddenly he becomes quite appealing within the league in general, but it depends if he gets enough game time to merit that upgrade. Caldara, another player that just needs one upgrade with the team, and because they're playing on several fronts it may happen, may not, but it's an interesting transfer regardless, going from AC Milan to Atalanta. Emre Can joins the Julian Brandt club, we think, for upgrade, for one to watch it even. He obviously was impressive against Bayer Leverkusen and it got a few folk excited initially. Oh, if he suddenly gets an upgrade as an inform, we might be laughing, but at the moment it's not to be. But if he can put performances maybe like that in, it may happen, so time will tell. Bergwijn's one of these players that position is the interesting part. Will it be a left wing, right mid, cam? But because he's obviously got 3 different cards at PSV, when he started off as a right wing he had a cam and then a left wing card. Regardless, as long as he has a one to watch of Spurs, I think most appealing would be left wing, I think, looking at it. But even then I would say like cam or right wing version of him will still be at least very useful for those that want to link up to like Gino Wijnaldum and Van Dijk, depending if he's a central card, so he's an extra option. Eriksen's obviously got one inform from Spurs. He could be the highest rated within this, but centre mid cam is what's most likely expected of him. Bruno Fernandes obviously has an 87 card, two special cards from his time at Sporting, and I think an 87 version of him, especially at Manchester United, would be the most appealing. I know a few folk will think a Gallo would maybe get the nod for a one to watch, but I think it will go to just Bruno Fernandes. I don't expect Man United to get 2. Carrasco back to Atletico, where it happens or not, for a one to watch, but I feel his rating and his stats would kind of justify it, and he's also like Lamar. Like Lamar got the one to watch when he happened, and so we could see the same cycle repeat itself. Winter Alcacer, not going to be the most appealing card at the moment from a like Liga perspective, but obviously if he was to kind of run right for a couple, like say a month, get himself a couple upgrades, then you never know, then suddenly go kind of like Moreno kind of territory, get a couple informed player months, you suddenly make him even more usable. Haland, obviously he is due an upgrade, and obviously he's got his future stars, so this one to watch, if it's say 88 rated, 87, 88 rated, I think would get a few folk at least saying, yeah, I want that card. So time will tell of course, but I think he should see a spot regardless. Suso kind of hit and miss opportunity here, where he happens or not. He's not going to be the most in demand card, but he's one of these cards that could be thrown in as like a troll player, as it were. But obviously he's not on board, so it's not exactly like, obviously because he would be a special card that you'd maybe still obviously get as a board, but not the most appealing in the world. Gregoric obviously has an inform already at Schalke, and I would imagine it'd be cam. I know he played striker for the inform, but should still happen regardless. Piatek transferred to Hertha Berlin, he obviously got a one to watch when he was at Milan. Could see the same cycle repeat itself, where he'd be appealing or not, it's a different matter, but if he was to show the initial form they showed at Milan to justify the serious spend, and also the form that he showed at Genoa, then you never know, this could prove to be a good signing, and it helps get Hertha up the table, which they badly need. Julian Weigl, interesting transfer to Benfica. I would say definitely has scope to be at least given a significant boost, but obviously just a handy base card in a different league. Samata is one of like your low-rated EPL transfers that just maybe gets thrown in there just to kind of juice up options. But saying that, all he needs is like an inform like how Wesley happened, and suddenly makes him a little bit more usable. If he adapts to the league pretty well, I'm sure he might bag an inform. You never know. Muniz de Boer didn't quite do it at Sevilla, but I'm sure if he gets given enough game time at Hoffenheim, it may click for him. And he's proven in like Salzburg that he is a capable forward, so time will tell. And Hoffenheim needs a bit of form as well at the moment, it looks like, so see how that progresses. I know Danny Olmo has a future stars, but a one to watch could easily happen as well, and I think all he needs is an upgrade on, I think, the base card. I think it would happen maybe to like an 81 possibly, but if he was to get a one to watch inform, then you never know. Let's put him to like an 84, you suddenly say, well, I don't pay serious money for future stars, but I'll happily take a 84 inform any day. D. Thomas been playing pretty well since he's joined Espanyol, and I think could be just one of those other cheap low informs, like how Boulay happened for Espanyol last year. Berge, big transfer to Sheffield United. Where he happens or not is a different matter, but just another low-rated option would happen. Lobotka, interesting transfer from Celta Vigo to Napoli. Napoli have done quite a bit of business in window in general. Some have went to the team permanently, some have went back to their the teams that they bought from on loan, so see how that progresses. Then Podence, big transfer from Olympiacos to Wolves, could do some damage, could be like an Adama Traore type. I'm sure a few folk wouldn't mind a couple of upgrades on him. Minamino looks set for an upgrade for Liverpool anyway, so 75 would probably maybe say 77, 78, and I'm sure one to watch of him, all you need is one upgrade, and especially like the cups, for example, like FA Cup for example, if he was to put a performance in, then a man in the match would suddenly just juice that card up at least more usable. And Remy Udan, possibly part of that 75 club that you may find. There's always like a few 75, 76 rated cards that they try and throw in, and it doesn't really get you excited, but sometimes all they need is just one upgrade, and you're like, oh, that suddenly becomes a little bit more usable. So Remy Udan for Legun, just giving it a bit of hope as well. But like Legun in general, I've not seen too many. Like Monaco might get a few transfers in, but saying that, when I was looking at some of the teams as well, it was like a lot of silvers that were doing transfers, so it kind of hampered my hope. For like objectives, you may find someone within this pile that could get a you could say like Emre Can for example could be the like a SBC, like an objective. You might also see like say a Gallo for example could be like a SBC, or like a player picks, it could be like a Man City, Man United type thing, like what they did with Alexis Sanchez and Mkhitaryan. But I don't really see them going too heavy on like objectives and SBCs to kind of excite us, because personally you've got to hope and pray that whoever they put in is at least having an appeal. Like I would say personally, for me, you've got at least, if you're doing an objective, the card needs to be at least, I would say, 82 plus, or at least 81 plus, with a likelihood of getting an upgrade. And then if you're doing SBCs, you've kind of got to have the same premise as well, that whoever you're picking is at least in line or got a good chance of upgrades, because we've seen Alexis Sanchez and Mkhitaryan, that kind of flopped quite badly. That's how we ended up with a flashback Alexis Sanchez, and I kind of expect the same soon for Mkhitaryan, to be honest. So this 23, if I was to say confident shouts, I'd be like Bergwijn, Eriksen, Fernandes, Emre Can, Alcacer, Haland, maybe Gregoric, maybe Piatek, like De Thomas and some of the reserves, but it's not the most appealing. Sadly, it's not. But saying that, all you need is, especially if the players get given a right wing card, and you're like, I only want a central version of that. Sometimes it's handy with the wanted watches where it's in the position you initially want, but the informs in a position that you don't want. But as I said, we'll hopefully have a wanted watch SBC, like wanted watch like guaranteed, and then maybe like any wanted watch and so forth. But let me know, folks, in the comments down below if you think this is an okay one to watch prediction. If there's anyone I may have missed, as I said, let me know in the comments down below. Smash like as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, Legend, hit that notification bell, would be massively appreciated, and I will catch you all later.